So Clint Cooper, he is just an awesome guy to have on the team. He was my mentor when I got here and got me the job, really, and has been a joy to work with. So he leads our College Station office, and he's going to tell you a little bit about his story.
Thank you, Miranda.
We need to take a break.
If anybody wants to take a bio break, I was told this is a great time to do it. So.
No.
No, not really. You're welcome to do that, but I'll try to be entertaining for you. Thank you for that introduction, Miranda. I, too, once lived in the model, and it was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'm Clint Cooper, class of 99 marketing and 06 Masters of Land Economics and Real Estate. So I'll share with you a little bit today about my career path and talk to you a little bit about visibility and integration and some things I've learned along the way. So I feel very blessed to have found a career that I love, and I feel even more blessed that I get to pursue it right here in College Station. I came to Texas A&M after attending junior college and in order to pursue a marketing degree. And I wasn't one of those students who knew what I wanted to do like Peter, and I just wanted to get a degree and find the best paying job I could get. And I really wish I would have had the chance to hear about passion and experience and gifting when I was in your shoes, but it was the late 90s and early 2000s, and it was a great time for marketing majors to come out and make a lot of money. And I got a great offer from one of those .com tech companies over in Austin, and things were looking good. But between the time I got the offer and the time it was supposed to go to work, the entire department didn't exist anymore. And so that job was no longer there, and I ended up kept my college job. I was selling boots at Cavender's Boot City here in College Station. And so I kept selling boots for a living. And it was a lot of fun, and it was a great gig, and I actually learned a lot during that time that I use every day today in my career, but didn't even really understand what I was learning at the time. I learned a lot about marketing and merchandising and sales and people, and I was getting to know a lot of people throughout Bryan College Station, a lot of people who are integral in this community. And after a few years of living the retail life, of getting off every Tuesday and maybe every other Sunday, and meeting the young lady that is now my wife, I need to change career paths. So I took a job in the mortgage industry, and I soon got bored of that and started the search again. And it was during that search that I found job descriptions on places like Monster.com and Hot Jobs. I don't even know if those websites are still alive today, but I found these cool descriptions of these jobs for acquisitions and development associates. And I was even able to land some interviews for some of these gigs, but quickly learned without, as Peter mentioned, either 5 years experience being a broker or a graduate degree, I had no foot in the door. So I started exploring how I was going to make this transition in my career from retail sales and mortgage lending into commercial real estate development. And I explored law school. I thought maybe I'd be a real estate attorney. I explored MBA programs with real estate concentrations. And through that search, I discovered the Lear program. And that was exactly what I was looking for. It was a no-brainer for me. And I had some great experiences in the Lear program. And here's some college photos from that experience. And Miss Donnell was able to secure us a lunch with Sam Zell during my time in the program, and that conversation and that lunch was really cool, because here was a guy who was worth several $1 billion at that time even, and sitting next to him having lunch and seeing the sparkle in his eye when he's talking about the first real estate deal he did, which was renovating a duplex while he was at Michigan in college, and it was still that fun for him. And then I had the opportunity to have a great internship at that time was the largest real estate developer in the world at Walmart. And there's a Walmart in Elizabeth, Colorado that I got to present to real estate committee with, for the largest real estate developer in the world. And they approved over $3 billion worth of projects in that 3-month period I was there in Arkansas. So not only did I get to have some cool experiences, I gained some really critical skill sets that allowed me for the opportunity when it came along to go to work at Caldwell. And that's kind of where my career in this business started. But everything I did up to that really prepared me for this point in my career. At Caldwell, I was hired as an investment analyst, as you heard. And I had the opportunity to report directly to Fred from day one of my time at the company, which kind of leads me to my next series of comments about visibility. So as an analyst, I reported directly to Fred on most projects, and I was able to take on additional responsibilities in asset management and some other types of roles, similar to what Miranda kind of mentioned. But now I work in a satellite kind of branch office scenario, and a critical component of my job is maintaining visibility. And you guys might find yourself in a similar situation after you get out, where you're either the one working in a remote situation or you have teammates that are working, in off-site locations. And I really love this image because it fits the Caldwell vernacular. In our office, you'll hear a lot of analogies about golf and flying. And so this image is of somebody coming in with limited visibility trying to land the plane. And in the Caldwell vernacular, landing the plane is making a decision. And we often talk about making decisions. And sometimes you have to land the plane with limited visibility. And it's critical that you have good communication with the tower so that they know where you are and you can get the feedback you need so that you can make adjustments for a smooth landing. And sometimes that can be challenging because you're not the only plane in the air. And they have other things they're trying to do and other decisions they have to make besides what you need feedback on. And so that requires you to make the effort. You've got to make sure that the people that you're looking to get feedback to make decisions in your career know what you need and can help you make those decisions. And when I was in the Houston office, working down the hall, it still had to work to get that visibility. And so I would do that back then I knew Fred's pattern of his schedule. Once the day was over, he had meetings all day, the phone stopped ringing, he'd try to sneak in his office and try to catch up on email. And that's usually when I would slide in about 6:30. And I'd catch him at his desk and I'd get all the answers I needed to advance all the initiatives I was working on.
That's what you were doing. That's what I did.
Caught him. But now that I'm in College Station, I don't have that opportunity. So we've got a more formalized process of regular meetings to keep our offices connected and keep that line of communication open. And that requires me to make frequent trips to Houston so that I can stay plugged in. It also helps me understand the landscape of what's going on in our corporate office. And it helps me to understand other demands on company resources and help me strategically decide about who, what, when, where, and how I need to ask for and approach those resources. And as the leader of our College Station team, it also helps me keep our team plugged into what's going on in the corporate office and also helps me keep the corporate office plugged into certain challenges that we may be experiencing out in the field. It's critical because we're in a new market and things don't always work the same, and so there may be certain expectations where the home office has a different level of expectation to an environment that you may be experiencing where you're at. Regulatory, marketing, market conditions, all those kinds of things are different in different places. So to kind of wrap up this point, I want to share a quote that Coach Slocum told me at a dinner one time, and he said, "Leading by example is no different than doing your job and keeping your mouth shut." And when he said that, it was an eye-opening comment for me because that's historically how I've lived my life, was try to lead by example, and I always thought that was a good thing. But I've learned that to really lead, you must communicate well with others around you and influence them to pursue the goals and objectives of the team, which require you to work hard to maintain that visibility so that others know what you're trying to accomplish, and then you to maintain visibility of what they're trying to accomplish so that you can work together. And then my last set of comments is about a topic around what a lot of people like to call work-life balance. And in my opinion, balance is a myth. And especially true in my life, and I think it's true generally in the real estate industry. I'm sure you've heard sayings like, life is a journey. Well, I'd like to amend that to say, life is a journey on a bicycle. And I'd argue it's almost impossible to balance sitting still on a bicycle, especially when the wind blows. And the wind's going to blow in your life. And that's what work-life balance means to me. It's like trying to sit still on a bicycle and balance everything that's going on in your life. But riding a bicycle and moving forward is much easier. And that's what I call integration. And moving forward requires all of your energy to be focused in one direction. And it allows you to build momentum. You know, all of your efforts in work and at home should move you towards the same direction. And when things get hard, like riding a bike up a hill, you have to pedal harder and you have to eliminate distractions in certain areas of your life. And then there's time when things go well, and maybe you can ride your bike with no hands and even juggle and do lots of different things at once. And life is going to have lots of hills, and both sides of those hills, the up and the downside, where things are hard and where things go easier. And integration of work and personal life has been very critical for me in starting and running our office here in College Station. And one big key are your goals. And I would encourage you to set goals and make sure your personal goals and your professional goals are consistent and support each other. And the other big component of integration is relationships. And you've heard us talk a lot about people, and real estate business is really driven by relationships. And I feel very fortunate that my family has embraced this, and we all love real estate, and we embrace this this concept of integration. And we even talk about real estate and go look at properties while we're on vacation, because that's just who we are and it's what we do. I'm involved in our community both on a personal and a professional level, and I don't even know if I can tell the lines of where they stop and start sometimes. My friends are my colleagues, my vendors, customers, prospects, and even my competitors. Everybody likes talking about real estate, or at least they pretend to when I'm talking to them. And whether I'm playing golf or go to an Aggie football game or go out to dinner, I'm spending time with friends, but I'm also building relationships with clients or possible new prospects or someone who can help me with a referral. Relationships are the lifeblood of the real estate business, but more importantly, they're what make our time here on earth worth living. And I'd conclude my comments today by challenging you to think really hard about the relationships in your life and put your full effort into them, because the most joy and the most pain you'll ever experience in this life will be the result of the relationships that you have with the people closest to you. And that kind of concludes my comments for today.